What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, we're doing a VOD review from the first Tacticians Cup. This is the first big, really big tournament of set 14. Obviously, the first weekend of it, where all the plebs like me had to play in, was last weekend, and now the Cup, where all the best players are playing in, is this weekend. I'm going to bring you a game from the APAC Tacticians Cup, actually. This was the first one that played. And YBY1, our favorite Vietnamese player, just absolutely smurfed it. 4 firsts on the day, 1 fourth, and then 1 seventh. He was probably trolling at the end there. Honestly, if he hadn't trolled, he'd be higher than everybody else because there was actually a 4-way tie for first place at 39 points, which is kind of crazy. None of it really matters because they're all moving to day 2, but kind of wild that there was a 4-way tie at the end there. YBY1 also, usually someone who streams his games. And I mean, he did stream all of these games, but I will shake my head a little bit. YBY1, I was watching his VOD earlier. I had the games, and I was like, oh, this is a really cool game to watch. I came back to the VOD, and he had privated the first half of his VOD. He still has this was the other game that I wanted to review, so this is going to be a fun one and a really cool game to review, starting with Artifact Anvil. But he had a really cool kind of he just played Win Streak using Vayne and Slayers and then pushed that into a fast 8, fast 9 Ox Force or Golden Ox type game, which I thought was really interesting. Also, speaking of really interesting, we actually sell off the Senna here. I think his thought process is, wow, I'm not actually sure. I mean, because I think his thought process is with tier plus chain, it's very unlikely that I'm actually going to play around Slayers from this spot. It's a smart call, opens up a lot of other lines, allows us to hold more techies for some kind of techie line potentially, but it's a little surprising. He's thinking potentially, maybe we play a game around Vex or something. And then we pop the Anvil here and things get even more interesting, okay? So let's look at this Anvil and kind of evaluate it. We have the Zhonya's here. Zhonya's really good on Twisted Fate. That's the main line you play with that, or if you can make it to fast 9, stuff like Viego, but that's really far off. You probably don't want to be going there. And we have no Twisted Fate items, so I can't really see this being taken. And then we do kind of have, we kind of have two other pools. We have the Prowler's Claw and then the tank one. So Prowler's Claw, really good if you're playing into stuff like Rengar. I don't actually, who else are you really excited to throw a Prowler's Claw on? I'm down to actually do a stats check here because, yeah, I've played this thing on Rengar. It's felt very good. I mean, you can throw this onto level 9 units, but is there another low cost? Yeah, it's not really great on Zed and units and stats. Yeah, really loves Rengar, Vex for some reason, but that looks, oh, I have to go to split by, no, not, I gotta go to items here. Okay, yeah, I was like, don't put Prowler's Claw on your Vex. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it's Rengar, horrible on Zed, pretty good on stuff like Jarvan and Shaco, as well as another line that you can play it from. So yeah, yeah, okay. Then you have the Light Shield. The Light Shield is probably, I think it is the single best if you just go to, once again, we go to items here, go to artifact and sort by AVP. I think it is one of the best options as far as tank stats go. Yeah, so it's up there. Worse than Anima Visage, but I mean, as far as a tank one, still really solid, 4.41. So this is just a generically pretty strong one you can take. I mean, Prowler's Claw is the one with the best stats. And then we have last one, the Hull Crusher, which I don't know. I just don't love this one that much. This is 10th lowest in terms of top 4 rate. So, not terrible, but not amazing. I mean, I don't actually really see the line from here, which is part of why I wanted to VOD review this game, because I probably would take Light Shield here and say I'm going to angle towards Vex from this spot. We have 1 tier and we have a Light Shield, and that'll be okay later for tank stats. So this is what I'm thinking I would angle here in this spot. And he checks, yeah, actually I'm even more surprised he didn't angle it here, because he checks Exotech here and sees Hyperfangs, which is the one that you're really looking for. You're looking for Hyperfangs on 3 or 5 for your Varus when you're playing this Exotech Vex comp. And so, yeah, I mean, it would make sense to me. But YBY1 makes a different call here. He scouts the lobby, sees pretty much, I don't think he saw anyone else had popped their Anvil yet. This is something really important to do as well when you are playing in this Artifact Anvil Galaxy, is scouting really diligently. It's especially important just this patch in general, because people are going to commit to their lines early, and if you commit to the same line as someone else, you are already minus a few placements, or plus a few placements, I guess. But just seeing if anyone else has taken Artifact here is really important. I don't think we see one Anima Visage here. So we see Anima Visage, this person, I mean, it really doesn't tell us that much. It means they're going to play a tank on their board, which is most boards. They're probably not going to play Executioners, I guess. Kess has a Sniper's Focus here. This is either Fiddlesticks, or you can put this on AD units. It's really nice on Fiddle, and he does have the Rod, so I could see that being a Fiddle game here. So he doesn't really see anything that conflicts with any of his options here, but he takes the Prowlers, which is honestly pretty surprising to me. And then this game gets even crazier. So first of all, we get this trait Augment here, Strategist +1, never going to take that. We really just want to roll this down. Our best bet would be finding something like a like cut purse here. You get cut purse here. You play around Rengar, even though your items aren't amazing for it, you just live with it. But he gets pretty much garbage here. But then second augment here, he sees the Rhaast hero augment here that converts him into Kayn, and he immediately takes this. Honestly, let me bring this back just to show you guys on. Honestly, I'm down to do it on regular speed because it's kind of hilarious how quickly he blows through these augments. But this is just someone who is, you know, very comfortable with the patch, knows immediately what he wants and what he doesn't want here. It's just roll, 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 sees that, thinks for a second, takes it. That was like under maybe 3 seconds on how quickly he actually took that augment, which, you know, usually I would, you know, criticize and say like, you know, you have to spend a little bit more time evaluating your options. But I mean, it's YBY1. I think he knows very quickly that he's just taking for something that fits with Prowlers here. And this is the only option that makes any sense. So we're going to play a Kayn hero augment game, which is, it's fun. And with Prowler's Claw, it is even more fun. You guys, I didn't really note on it, but if you were looking in the stats earlier, if you go back to the stats I'd pulled up for Prowler's Claw, Rhaast was one of the units that had like a -0.4 delta on Rhaast, which is not, I mean, it's very solid actually. So this is a very solid artifact on Rhaast. It might actually be, I'll pull it up on the other window because I don't want to spend too long in the stats, just because, you know, the videos get long. I know you guys have your, I mean, you know what, your TikTok brains. Well, I'm helping you guys out. But yeah, I mean, this is actually helpful stats to have as well. Rhaast, best single item on him, if you just look at Orin items. Special Cutlass, second best. Silver Mirror Dawn's second best. Interestingly enough, by the way, I played a game with Gold Collector Rhaast. It felt fine, but the stats do hate Gold Collector Rhaast. And I'm pretty sure the reason why the stats hate Gold Collector Rhaast is that you're meant to move that Gold Collector to a better unit later. It's fine on Rhaast, but you really throw it onto him for the early game, and then you move it to like a Senna later is like the dream here. And speaking of the dream, we can kind of start focusing in on what we want to play and how we want to play around this augment. I'm also down for people who have not, you know, played too much of this set to pull up the augment for you guys so that I can just kind of like talk through all the pieces of it, because it basically turns him into, I'm trying to recall, yeah, it's called Alter Ego here. So let's pull this over for you guys. Look, I just have tier lists. Yeah, it actually doesn't even say as much, but it turns Rhaast into Kayn. When he casts, he dashes, he spins, and then if he kills, he casts again at reduced effectiveness. It's not like you get to just cast for forever. He gets like a slightly smaller cast the second time, but still, I mean, it's really good. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It was like an AP Kayn. Was he a 5 cost even? There was an AP Kayn that did kind of exactly this, and that's what this Kayn does. And he's kind of a monster, I will say. I would also say, I don't know if I have it in the title because I figured the title's out after the videos, but this is the best. This is the best hero augment in the game. A lot of the other hero augments really just have fallen pretty flat, I would say. And this one, it was already the best pre this patch. And guess what happened this patch? The Slayers line, the Slayer and Vanguard's line, got an immense buff in that it really buffed up the, I mean, you got Jarvan. You got Jarvan on this board, which is just such a disgusting unit on this, when you want to play around Slayers and when you want to play around Vanguards. And hey, look at that. We can play Jarvan. He is a Vanguard on our board, which obviously fits with Rhaast. You also are very often naturally just kind of like leveling. And ooh, this is going to be an interesting game because we see contest from Kanata here. You want to play this comp, right? This is the reason why this line is so good, but it's also very risky, is that you really want to play into the Vayne, the traditional, you know, like Vayne Slayer Vanguard reroll. The problem is this line has gotten a lot popular. That is a disgusting shop though. YBY1 is obviously very happy about it, and I can't. You guys can't see his chat. I can move my head a little bit, but his chat is actually like kind of going crazy. Dude, I didn't realize YBY1 is like, I know he was quite popular, but he's like huge. I don't know how many viewers he gets per stream, but it said like the people who had watched his most recent stream, it had like 100K views on it for stream from the cup, which is crazy. Like he's kind of, I mean, it's like one of the biggest, like Vietnam and China are like the 2 biggest TFT regions. And then he's like probably one of the biggest streamers because he's like really good at the game and he's pretty entertaining. So, I mean, it makes sense. And I mean, he's also, I mean, I already said he's really good at the game, but in any case, so you want to play this Vanguard Slayer line. The problem is the contestant. So we'll see this game what actually happens, because that person is going to go for stuff like Vayne 3. It's going to be very troubling, very difficult for us to actually make it to Vayne 3. Also, itemization wise here, we slam the BT here out of this sword. I believe the stats say BIS is IE Hodgepodge on this unit. You're really just playing for these super, super big casts. You can build stuff like Titans in a pinch. It's not great, though. It's not ideal, but it's TFT. I think a lot of people, there was actually a discussion on one of the Reddits about, you know, like the function of like BIS and TFT. And I do think a lot of people do get this kind of like skewed idea of BIS. Also, oh, this Prowler's Claw is so cool. He's just flying around the board. We do lose just because that is a giant shiv on it too. But a lot of people think, you know, you can't, especially in a reroll comp like this, you can't build okay enough items. You have to go for BIS, but not the case. Like you can definitely, you can definitely build okay items. And BT is a great example here. Hodge is better on him. You want to go with the IE Hodge, but we need to get some healing onto him. We need to get some tempo, so we slam it. All right. Double Trouble is kind of a hilarious idea. I'd really love to see it. Though I don't know exactly how good it would be. Yeah, I don't really want Gargantuan Resolve. Like I said, the Titans is not amazing. You're playing for quick burst with this unit, right? You want to get a cast, kill a unit, and then start killing and repeating and killing other units. If you have like this giant Titans, it's going to be really hard to make usage of. And yeah, he does actually take, wow, the Prismatic Pipeline here. I mean, obviously the huge like dream for us in this spot would be that we would find some kind of extra artifact for him. We could go like Prowler's Claw plus Silvermere Dawn and just have like a giant Kayn in this game. We'll see. We'll see if we can make that dream a reality. But for now, we're going to be pretty weak. It's a little scary when you're playing 2-cost reroll like this. When I talk about 2-cost reroll, I always talk about you want to be strong during this stage because you are going to fall off a cliff later. And I think his thought process is, even down a Prismatic, we're still going to have fights like this where it's really hard for them to kill the Kayn, and the Kayn is just going to kill their entire board. So we're actually going to be able to win a decent amount of fights. We're also 83 HP. It's not like we're like low. So we'll probably make it decently far this game. Also, still slow rolling on 6. This version of the comp is very different than the, you know, traditional Slayer version where you want to play for the Jarvan and everything. Also really nice. He sees that there's a future sight person in his pool, so he's just going to make sure this Rhaast is always moving. He wants to make sure that there is no chance that this Rhaast is going to get targeted by those, because I mean, if they do, it's very possible we lose the fight. But yeah, you don't want to push levels to level 7 in this comp like you would normally do in Slayer reroll, because Rhaast is the star of the show, right? You don't want to be digging on 7 to try to find him. You want to try to find this Rhaast as quickly as possible and, you know, hit the Rhaast 3-star. So yeah, this is, I really want him to go back and scout the Kanata person. I mean, that spot looked kind of crazy, but we do get Glove here. This is what we really want here. I'm curious to see if he pryos Hodge or IE here. I'm looking at IE. He's losing his mind, by the way. He's in very good spirits here. Yeah, he's going to prio the IE. I think this makes perfect sense. We do get the Vayne too as well. We're rolling kind of deep here to 40. Yeah, wow. We're rolling really deep here, actually. He does pick up the Leona here, so now he can fit this in. I mean, he does know that he's contested on a lot of these units, right? Yeah, let's go back here to when he scouts that player. Man, YBY1 is... He's just zooming, man. He is okay. So yeah, let's take a look at this board. Only one Kayn or only one Rhaast out on this board, which is huge for us. And the Vayne meter is on 5. Not too bad for us. Only 2 Jarvans here. Honestly, a pretty good spot for us, I would say, in terms of this guy has missed pretty hard, and it's taken them a while to hit. You would honestly, I feel like you would expect them to have more Vaynes with Starry Night, but I think they're saving a lot of their gold for level 7, which is good for us. So YBY1 realized, hey, this guy's probably gonna, you know, save a lot of gold for level 7. My dream here is to roll before them, and so that's what we do. We roll down to 40, roll down to 30 here, roll aggressively, because when you're contested, you can basically do one of two things. You can either roll before the other player, or you can hope that eventually they're gonna die, and then roll after they've died, and you know, once all these copies are back in the pool with them dying. The problem is that a Slayer board, even contested, is probably not going to die with how broken this comp is, so you need to roll before them. And so he says, you know what, I'm going to roll before them. I'm going to roll pretty deep on, you know, 3-5, and even earlier rounds he was, you know, dipping to 40 gold. And this is, I mean, this is the way to play it, honestly. Also, ooh, sponging with all these Ionic Sparks and Archangels is kind of hilarious. This is, by the way, Kess is going to be playing towards that Fiddlesticks like we talked about. He still just hasn't found a Fiddlesticks, which is a little bit rough for him, but he'll get there. Probably. What HP is he at? 60? He'll probably get there. And hey, we made it to the end of the stage. Just goes to show how strong this Augment is and how strong this unit is. We played this entire stage down a Prismatic, and still we won 4 out of 5 fights. I mean, it's crazy. The second that we got this IE on, it seemed like the fights weren't even close. And also, a lot of people, once again, like, why are we dipping so deep here? We're rolling down to like 40 gold. I mean, you have to, right? Why not? And we're also going to get a lot of this gold right back. Look at this. We are rich now. We can send it pretty deep here. We do. Okay, let's before we roll it super deep, actually, let's take a peek at items here, because this is kind of interesting. You do have the Hodge if you wanted to make it. The problem with that slam is you already have the BT. They kind of are the same function. You'd really like to start building items for the Vayne here, for potentially Senna. The problem with that is there's really not much. This tier is quite awkward. You can go Shojin Senna. It's not great. Blue buff is obviously really awkward. You have the Hodge. You could start building towards Z items, but I mean, are we going to have a 0-item Vayne 3? You can hold this Rod for the Gwinsus. I mean, you can make IE, like I've said before, it's a pretty bad item on Vayne, but it's an item. But then you're going IE Gwinsus, and then you just have this blue buff sitting around. I guess you could blue buff and blue buff the Z later is the really awkward way to do it, but I mean, maybe that's what we have to do. All right, continuing to roll here, pushes 7, takes this extra artifact. Ooh, okay, so remember looking at the stats. Spectral Cutlass is quite good. The thing is, I'm down to bring up the stats for this. My intuition is that Special Cutlass plus Prowlers onto the Rhaast is not like amazing, though. I wonder if stats will just say it's good. Once we have thrown on the Prowlers Claw to him, how does, and yeah, we're gonna have to really bring down the sample size here, which I mean at this point the stats are actually like not even useful. There's basically a 10-game sample size where it averages 3.5, not bad. I mean, yeah, I mean these samples are basically non-existent at this point, though. I mean it does look like it does pretty well when you stack items onto him. Spectral Cutlass, I mean, yeah, I don't even want to look at honestly, don't even look at these stats, man. Sample size of 10 games, it's hardly good. But yeah, so we could take this. My intuition is that it's actually not that great of a combination because you're already teleporting to backline with Prowler's Claw, and so this is just going to, continue teleporting you to the backline. It's kind of a repetitive effect. The only upside, though, is it does, like, there is an idea where you teleport to the backline, get your first kill, and then just kill their whole backline before the fight starts. So, yeah, I'm not actually 100% sure. I mean, you can take RFC. It's an attack speed item. You could take this one and, like, duplicate your Jarvans, I guess. I mean, and a second Jarvan's never bad. Yeah, YBY1 really in the tank here, actually, thinking about what he wants to take here, and he ends up sticking on to this, just making the duplicated Jarvan here. I mean, I think this makes sense as an option. It was a pretty tough, like choice there, I would say. So, fair enough. 8 Vaynes, by the way. We pushed level 7, which honestly I think took a lot from YBY1 because we are, so close to the Vayne 3. Wow, he's looking at this overheal option. The idea being like all of our damage is being done right after we cast. Extra healing is never bad on this unit, and getting a shield will keep him alive. What are our other options? We even have, I mean, you can take a support anvil, and support anvil could be quite solid if we get something like a Banshees and we can give him CC immunity. And so we're thinking about that. And yeah, we opt to roll a little bit here, roll into Spirit Link here, and we do take it. Kind of interesting because Spirit. It is called Spirit Link, right? And we are going to make the Hodge. Okay, so where does the BT go if we do make this Hodge? It just goes on a Vayne for now. It's really not better on Jarvan. I mean, it's healing, I guess. Okay, I mean, it's a little bit of damage. But okay, he does say, I care so much about the crit from the Hodge, I would rather basically kill an item, right? Because this BT is going to sit on the Vayne and not do much. The only other upside to this, by the way, is that you kill the one at the tiers, which is just, I mean, it's not a good component. I think that was probably the tiebreaker in his head, is I have all these tiers, I have nothing to do with them. I'd rather make a BIS item for my carry than just turn them into, like I said, blue buff on a Zed is, not a super exciting proposition here. I'm still thinking about the Spirit Link. I mean, the idea is obviously we're going to play 6 Vanguard. Our board's going to be pretty tanky. Spirit Link is going to heal them up a bunch. And even though it's not going to be amazing on Rhaast because most of his healing is coming from just him killing units, it will be good on everybody else. I don't know. I kind of like the overheal idea a little bit better, or maybe even the support anvil. But I mean, he's YBY1, so he can't be wrong. I mean, that's just how it goes. All right, we're still one off that Vayne. I do think we would really like to grab a Gwinsu's Rageblade here. If we cannot get that, maybe build something out of the sword, like a Deathblade here seems quite reasonable. Or yeah, I mean, Deathblade makes sense to me. Do another, yeah, that's actually, let's look back at the scout here that he does right at the end. I want to see Kanata here. Yes, okay, this player, because they reached Vayne 3. Also, shockingly, they almost have a Rhaast 3 as well, and they're also a couple off Jarvan. We're probably never going to be able to find Jarvan the third this game, which is going to be a little bit sad, unless we can kill them off, because they're 25 HP. That's the big upside for us. But yeah, look at this. We push level 8 here and say, look, I really want to just spike this board even harder here. What did we end up fitting onto this board here? We leveled just for... It wasn't another... he played a Skarner for a second, right? But it wasn't Skarner forever. We just ended up fitting Senna in on this board. It's a third Slayer. It's pretty rough, but his idea is, I mean, yeah, with this many Vaynes out of the pool, we cannot actually roll for Vayne. There's a real world here where we roll like 20, 30 gold, and we don't even find a single Vayne, which would be horrible. So our new game plan here is we're going to push levels, be strong as possible, potentially push 9. We sell the Jarvan off. I mean, really, really good understanding of YBY1, though I will say, Canada did just take a big loss here. I mean, we might be able to have our cake and eat it too. If Kanata dies here, then we can potentially push 9 and potentially find our 3-star, though. I mean, that board looks quite scary. There's some scary boards in this lobby. The Sniper's Focus on the Fiddlesticks board. I mean, this would be the dream if we could get the kill here, but I mean, this board is not weak by any means. The other Prowler's Club board. Kayn's taking a lot of aggro here. He does get a huge cast off. Oh my god. It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful here. We get the kill off here, which means all those Vaynes back into the pool, and we can probably just find it on 8. I mean, we only need to find the 1. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting that he did push 8 there. I wonder if any part of him was like surprised that that player took all those losses. Like maybe he would have actually preferred sitting on level 7 and rolling for Jarvan 3 and Senna 3, because now these are way back in the pool. I mean, we are just going to get to push levels now, but yeah, we don't even find the Gwynsus here. I mean, we can make redemption and what? Oh god. Really? I mean, low-key I was thinking like Morello Senna. Okay, well, we'll see here. Moves the BT back, moves the IE, moves the Hodge down. I mean, this is kind of weird. His idea, I guess, must be that like we actually kind of need the tankiness from the BT shield. Oh my god, on this Kayn. And so he moves the Hodge, and the Hodge is going to be a better damage item for the Vayne. But now, at the end of the day, we just essentially made a Hodge and put it on Vayne, which is a little bit unsatisfying for our itemization. But I mean, this was a very hard game to pilot. There's a Garen if we, I mean, Garen, you have to play Garen. You have to play Garen when you play this comp, because your dream amongst dreams is that you can get Slayer. You're already playing a lot of Slayers in this comp. If you can get Slayer onto this Kayn, it's AD, it's Omnivamp, it's everything that he could ever want. So if we can get there, we will feel really, really good. You can also, I mean, we're 6 Vanguard. You can throw 6 Vanguard onto Vayne. You can throw it onto Senna. You could throw it onto, I mean, the Garen is like actually a frontliner. So there's a lot of upside there. He's digging for Sedges because, yeah, that person has 6 Sejuani. He's still pretty far off. I don't want to live in a world where a player can hit a Sejuani 3. Like, honestly, like it's too tough. Oh, look at this. This is actually so sick here. He says, you know what? I'm going to bench the Kayn here and just do my best to dodge this Zephyr here. Oh my god. Who is this? The Jhin player, Ung Messi? Is this guy the GOAT? He actually somehow outpositioned that. I don't know how he got there that quickly, though. I think they might still lose, which is so tragic. After everything, after actually nailing that Zephyr like a beast, they still lose the fight. I mean, there's no such thing as justice in the world. If anyone tells you that there's justice in this game, they're a liar, man. That is so sad that they actually hit it, but their board's just not good enough to deal with him. But I mean, smart from YBY1, and there he gets the Slayer, beautiful. But smart from him to start benching units and just saying, you know what, like I'm going to make it easier for, like I'm going to make my positioning less predictable, essentially by benching our dude. We can kind of put him anywhere. Honestly, the only problem is you kind of have to play him and then swap him with a unit. So like, I don't actually know about the benching him tech. It looks fun, but like, I don't know if it's actually that good. But I mean, that's the idea at least. Make it a backline here. Swipe to the other side. We got to get to this Vex. I mean, I think we're going to be fine. 16,000 damage. I mean, every fight is not even close, man. It's just disgusting, honestly. And ooh, the Fiddlesticks is getting there with the Snipers, Archangels. The problem is we just need to get 1 kill on this front line, and then Arcane is immediately going to teleport to backline and destroy this Fiddle. So as long as we can get through that first unit, we will be hard chilling on that setup. Also, note that we dropped down from 6 Vanguard to 4 Slayer the second that we got Slayer onto our dude. This is because, I mean, he's benefiting from it. It's really, really big. Also allows us to play like a little bit better unit quality, I guess. I mean, Zed's like fine. But I mean, the big thing is that now we have Slayer onto Arcane, so it's really beneficial to get, oh my god, all that AD and healing. Oh, I mean, this comp is too sick to watch, man. There's so many of these fights. It's looked like he was about to lose, and then he just actually clutches it like a beast. We also, you know, we're very close to hitting this Vayne 3. Hovering over the Spirit Link. I don't really think it's doing that much, but okay, whatever. All right, we have a brief respite here, waiting to see what else we can pick up in this spot here. I mean, you can go for Senna item, you can go for a Nectin item. What else is there? I mean, if you find Z2, yeah, you can go for Z item. This Death Cap is kind of burning a hole in our pocket. I kind of want to move this Death Cap up to Garen and maybe throw another item onto him because he has a Garen too. We're going to move the IE down here. Hodge onto Z, okay, and just say, you know what? Garen is not a Slayer, not a Vanguard, so we don't care about itemizing him, and so we're just kind of splitting these items slightly awkwardly, but hey, at least we get triple good item onto Vayne. This is not bad, though. I mean, IE is obviously not best. All right, we do get that kill on frontline eventually, and then, yeah, we have so much access to the Fiddlesticks. This fight is so easy for us, honestly. Vanguard, oh, yeah, I like this a lot, and then you can just throw this onto Zed. Yeah, this is beautiful. This feels good. I mean, I've talked about this. I think I've talked about this in coaching videos, not actually in real videos. But when you get defensive stats, actually, I don't even know if it's in a coaching video because I think it was in a session. Yeah, whatever. But when you get defensive stats on melee units like Zed, it's really good. These units are not balanced around being, you know, as tanky as a 4 Vanguard unit is. And so you throw this onto Zed and yeah, you feel really, really good about it. We get another Elim there. Kess goes down as well here. Everybody with their flashy little legends. Actually, not that many people in this lobby have a flashy little legend. Also, we sell the Senna here to actually move the death cap up. He needed to find a replacement Senna too because he burned the remover to move items over to Vayne. Ah, so that's true. Yeah, it wasn't actually so easy to move both items here, but he found the Senna. Now both items end up on the Zed here. And I mean, really just have to get through a Hollow Bow Zeri, the final boss in all things TFT. Upside is if we can chain some kills together, we are very high odds to get to the Zeri. This fight actually was pretty rough. Oh my God, we lost to this. I mean, we got CC'd there. I mean, having our Kayn get CC'd is kind of like the worst case scenario here. What do we have here? Why is he looking at... Okay, yeah, I'm kind of surprised at a lot. Oh, okay, we got the vow. I mean, it's on highest cost, so we kind of always were going to get the vow, I guess. So it's fine, I guess. This guy... I mean, this guy's board is not bad. Viego 2, God of the Netting. He has an Aurora 2. I mean, this is a very capped board. We'll see if this fight's actually winnable. We just need to get as far away from the Sejuani as possible. They're middling the Sejuani because they know there's very high odds this Kayn's going to dash to the middle, though he didn't that time. He dashed to the corner here. He's flying all around, but can he kill the Zeri? No. Oh my God. Oh, though Zed... Good try by the Zed. I mean, this very well could go down to one stage 7 fight. Also, we roll down, we get to lock that Sejuani. This person, yeah, okay, so there's 7 Sejuanis, so denying that one feels really good, makes it very hard for them to find Sej 3. I mean, we really just want the Zed and the Kayn to work together here. We're really trying to get the swap on them. We swap Kayn and Zed back to the same side here. Yeah, Zed going backline on the Aurora could be really big. We just need to get a kill. He gets stunned here. We did kill a lot of frontline. This looks pretty good. Kayn cast. Oh my God, huge Kayn cast there. We don't get the kill though. Oh my God, we are going to stage 7. We do get another +1 here. I mean, you could Vanguard the Garen. Are we Slayer the Garen? Yeah, I mean that's very good too. Maybe even better. Yeah, I mean, if YBY1 does it, it's correct. So that's even better. And I mean, at this point, do you consider moving the Zed items over to the Garen? Does he actually rate Zed higher? Low key, I have a thought. I don't know if he'll do it, but I kind of like moving items over to Garen because he's going to move tank items over. I mean, this works too. And then you get to dupe Leona's, which is not bad either. I kind of liked moving Zed items over to Garen with the idea that like he's actually going to help kill frontline, and like killing backline doesn't help that much because like we need to kill frontline for Kayn to actually pop off. Like that's kind of what I was thinking. But I mean, moving tank items onto Garen is pretty good as well. Kayn doing a ton of work flying around the board. I think we made it. Yeah, he avoided CC. We got the kills at the right time. And that is a first for Mr. YBY1. This video is way too long, so I'm not going to say anything else. But if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, Medify, all my links down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.